There he fucking goes. Oi, where is he? Oh, I can't. Look, there he goes. So, episode 4. Who's next? I've got an hour before the next train down to London, so I'm just going to explore here for a little bit and then go home. Obviously, we're out tonight for one of my boys' birthdays, so I guess I'll go to that later and enjoy the rest of the day. So I'm gonna meet Graeme, that guy, at 4 tomorrow. So in about 12 hours. So I'm gonna have to sleep for most of the day and then go. Off the cans of water. Okay, I think I'm outside, so I'm gonna call him and get him to come down.
Staging, I know production. This ain't my first rodeo.
I know what I'm doing.
Do I though?
So how are you today, man?
I am fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah? I felt like it's really nice to see you again. We met at Print Works. How long ago was that? Like 3-4 weeks ago?
I'm gonna say 1 month.
About a month ago.
On the dance floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows what happens on the dance floor and who you could meet.
I know.
It's a free-for-all.
Literally. By the way, I have you on my phone saved as Graeme.
That's my name.
That's your name, G-R-A-M.
Nah, it's just easy way out. Yeah,
Oh.
it's my cop out. It is the other spelling.
What's the other spelling? What's the other spelling?
Go on.
G-R-A-M, Graeme. Graeme?
Graeme, yeah, Graeme.
It's-
How are we pronouncing that? No, not like that. No.
I'm so confused.
No. It's G-R-A-M-E.
E-M?
Yeah. So there's two
G-R-A-E-M-E.
spellings.
Ah.
One is the British way, and one is the Gaelic way.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I guess is me.
see.
I'm like, my full name is extremely Scottish. We're not gonna get into that though.
Okay.
Like almost too Scottish. Like,
Interesting. I
it's
can't
like
lie. I've never met anyone called Graeme before.
Never.
I've never met a
And
Graeme.
either way?
Never.
With the H?
No.
H is very common,
I've
especially
met
here.
I've met a Graeme.
Yeah, okay. What?
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Is that the same thing?
That's the exact same thing, yeah.
Oh.
And don't let any Brit tell you otherwise.
Okay, so
Because-
is Graeme just the British pronunciation?
Yeah,
of
exactly.
Graeme?
And British people are very particular about how you say it.
I see.
Because I will say, like, I pronounce it like I spelt it to you, like
Yeah,
Graeme,
Graeme,
like the
yeah.
unit of measurement.
Yeah.
And I'll say it like that, like, I'm Graeme.
Yeah. Yeah.
And British people will get so fussed up, they're like, oh, Graeme? Like, yes.
Interesting. Okay, I get it now.
Teach me my name. Yeah. So
Yeah, tell me how to say my name properly, please.
call me whatever you want.
Yeah.
Frankly.
So are you Scottish?
My father's Scottish.
Okay.
And I guess that makes me. Well, I did do my 23andMe, and I'm as Scottish as it gets. 'Cause
Okay.
apparently my mom's Scottish too.
Really?
But yeah, we didn't know that for a while because my mom was adopted,
Mm.
and I guess her kind of lineage was a little bit of a mystery to the family. And then yeah, once like these DNA tests started coming out, the kids, I think they did their own too. But we started doing these, and I think it told me that I was like 99.98% Scottish Irish. It differentiates Scottish Irish and British. Not the same. But also that 0.2% was like Danish.
Oh. Mm. It seems like many white people have some sort of European or like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I feel like every white person that I've met that's done some sort of 23andMe test always says like, yeah, most of the English thing, and then a little bit of, I don't know, Norwegian
somewhere. Yeah, we got a little
thing.
spice from the mainland. It's not spicier over there, believe me. Yeah, it's a little bit too mild.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, my name is Graeme.
Yeah.
Pronounce it however you'd like.
I like Graeme.
I go by G because it's easy.
Okay.
And I like to have my friends just give me whatever they want. Like, it could be your boy G. G Slice.
I like that. I like G Slice. Can I call you G Slice?
No. You're gonna have to come up with your own. But,
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's it's any sort of G.
Yeah.
And if I like it, have my response.
I'm gonna try to come up with one during the course of this
Okay,
episode,
good.
and by the end, you're gonna love it.
And I may love it, or I may have heard it 1,000 times,
And hate me
and
for it.
obviously love it already.
Yeah. Okay.
Because anything that has letter G in it, it's just me.
Yeah,
You know? Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna own it. Yeah.
So you're 98% Scottish, Irish, English, but your accent. Where were you born?
Where was I born? I was born in. Wait. You're gonna come at me with those questions?
I'm curious. Yeah.
Oh, you're okay. I thought you were gonna guess.
Do you want me to guess?
Go for
I
it.
can guess.
Have I told you this before?
No.
Okay.
I can't lie. I can't. Did we? Do
I
you
don't
remember our interaction at Printworks?
On some levels, yes.
Yeah.
We were on some levels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. But vaguely, I don't remember points of conversation, and I don't think the point of being there was conversation.
I'll be
I
real.
drum and bass party.
Yeah, I remember it relatively well. We hardly spoke. So we were on the right side, under the pillar bit, in front of the...
11B.
You remember that? God damn. I was going to say third speaker from the back, but yeah.
That's 11B.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Primworks is my backyard.
We're in kind of the water. We're very close to Primworks.
Yeah, this is my local.
So yeah, and I was there. I was next to you and your friend, your female friend, and you guys. Oh no, you guys
Paola.
just had. What's her name?
Paola.
Paola. Big up Paola.
My kindred spirit.
Yeah, you guys had really nice energy. So we were I was like near you. I think I was there by myself, wasn't I?
Yeah.
So I was just. It was the last time I could ever go to Primworks, so you gotta get the most
Yeah.
out of it. Which I'm annoyed at, by the way, because it turns out in 3 years they're gonna reopen anyway.
Plot twists.
Plot twist. It seems like it was just a big ruse to get people to attend and buy the merch and thing.
Oh, I do want the merch though.
They came out with a new
merch.
release like the other week or the other
Did
day.
they?
All I feel like it was just all
Did
a
you
plan. No, the thing is, the time I went before, I bought a hoodie and everything because I thought it was going to be the last time I was there.
You already have the merch.
So they got me. They already did got me.
Okay.
Which is so annoying.
Every time I see it and I go there, I would see someone. It'd be like someone who was either, like they probably bought merch because they were such a mess that they like spilt and or tumbled through a puddle, and they needed something else to wear.
Yeah.
Or they're just like respect the place.
Yeah.
And I respected them for that.
Yeah.
Either way.
I really wanted a memento,
Yeah.
just to remember the place because I thought it was going to be done for good.
Only through attending these drum and bass parties and feeling the energy that is there and the amount of love and respect for the music and it is a culture.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much a scene.
Yeah.
And it's totally different, but it is its own thing unabashedly, and it is just like you know the feeling. If you're in that crowd and the MC's going off, they have like a bass line drop, and everyone is just like, it's like simultaneous climax.
Yeah.
And everyone is just like on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's next level.
Oh, bro, what you're talking about is one of my favorite feelings, moments in life. Like that collective rejoice of a big song that you either know or don't, but either way it's just giving you such a reaction that everyone around you is feeling as well. And then you turn to the people next to you, you don't even know, and you acknowledge the fact that you're both feeling that shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is so, it's so primitive, I think. It's so like,
I get you.
Yeah.
I mean, I had like transcendental experiences in concerts where I was at that level, like, maybe had a handful of mushrooms.
I was gonna say it slightly, but
some stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe had some stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe ate some mushrooms and went to a music festival or a concert, and like there's actually a key moment. I remember going to this concert, and it was a kind of weird time for me because it was in itself like I was almost transitioning from. This is right before I was leaving Toronto, and like.
Where did you tell me from?
Oh, fucker!
Carry on. I was gonna say Montreal, so I was close. I'm joking. I have no idea. I was
what?
Carry on.
Yeah, no, I'm no Frenchie. But yeah, damn.
Handful of mushrooms, go to festivals.
Yeah, no. So not to describe my trip to you, but there was something running through my mind, and like, you don't need more context than that. There was like some weirdness going on personally. I was like thinking about things. I was loving the music.
Yeah.
I was there alone in a crowd, which is something I just love to do, like going to listen to music. It's something that you know you have love for, and you don't want to. I mean, sometimes like your friends might be into the same band, sometimes they might like the same sound, sometimes they might be, you have a feeling that they're gonna be into this, have the same energy as you.
Yeah.
But I've found a lot of satisfaction in life in just experiencing things on my own. Not necessarily high on mushrooms.
If you're by yourself.
No. I mean, from time to time.
Yeah.
I dabble. But, no, just like, getting lost and having my own mind and my own adventure and not having to think about externalities and like someone worrying about like how are they feeling, like, are they happy, are they having fun, and then it also opens up those opportunities to just meet people. Like there were so many parties I went to at Printworks where I went alone because like I won these tickets and I didn't bring anyone with me, or like I just had tickets and I just showed up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my thing on the dance floor. And actually there was a really fun one. I was swept up by a gang of lesbians who were very lovely gals. And they saw me dancing and they're like,
you're with us.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's go. So yeah, I mean, and it's just like not even that, but like even if you're going out and like having a smoke break or like, having a rest by the. Actually, it's the same thing happened at the drum and bass party. Totally weird, but I mean, I loved it. But like I was waiting in that area right outside of the main press halls. And I was waiting for Paula to get some water, and I was just like hanging out there, and like this most like laddie bro. I mean, I'm not sure how do I describe a laddie bro.
Laddie bro was pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Laddie bro,
yeah. He was like started talking to me, and I was like. It's like, oh man, like I'm kind of coming up right now, feeling a little skittish, and then he like almost like very naturally like came over and like touched my knee, and I'm like, and then he's like, whoa, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. I'm like,
it's drugs, man. It's drugs. I swear.
Yeah, no, he was sober, I think, but I was like, whatever. Like, touch my fucking knee. You want to touch more of my knee? There's plenty more where that came from.
I got 2 for you, man. So you grew up in Toronto?
I lived in Toronto for all of my adult years. I ended up there when I was 18 studying, and then like in my later years in uni, I found a place downtown. It was like it was definitely student living. But it was my first place. So I was there through basically all of my grade school and high school for uni, and it was a nice town. Can't complain. But it was small town. Like the kind of town where everyone knows everyone. Like they're all up in their business. And there's no really escaping that. And so you can kind of see like now, not that I really know anyone that's still lives there. Like I know people that live there, but don't know them. Like they're not close with me at all. They're the people that they. High school ends, they get married to their high school dude, they start a family, that's it, that's their life. And that was never it for me. I just didn't want to do that. That wasn't where I was going in my life. Obviously I had to go to school, so went to school in the city, and then ended up living in Toronto from the time that I was 18 until 29. And at 29, I came here.
And is that when you moved here?
That's when I came here.
So 4 years ago. So you're 33 now?
Very good.
Nice.
Wow. Whoa, you've been doing math this whole time?
All this time.
Wow,
From
you're
the
counting.
second I walked in, man.
Counting. Taking numbers.
So one
Damn.
thing I find really fascinating,
Okay.
no matter what part of the world
Yeah.
that people live, anywhere in the world, there are these towns where there are these self-contained towns
Right.
where the people know the people. Everyone will marry, shop, do everything with everything. Like get married, do have their children,
Very
work,
incestuous.
do everything.
Yeah.
Incestuous within the
Inside it.
community.
Yeah, it's a community. It's a...
And obviously, the majority of the people within this space are very content and very happy doing that. And a holiday will maybe be even like the next town over, or just a beach town that's not too far, the nearest seaside, or even if it's
Or
a
the
country,
colleges.
yeah. Or even if it is abroad, it will be the same place with the same villa, and that would be almost like routine, like religion, and they're very content. And then what I find most interesting about that is that there are always these outliers within these spaces all over the world that look at the surrounding and go, well, fuck this. Like, this is not for me. Yeah, like, I can't take this. I need to get out of it. I need to move. And then, because of that, these busy cities and these places that do have opportunity and things, all of these people, they flock to these areas, they flock to these places. So then all these cities are littered with these people that are from these small self-contained towns, but from all around the world. But they all have this same thing in common, that they were part of the same type of community and realized that it wasn't for them very early on, and decided to travel and to find a place that resonates with them most. My question is, do you feel like you've met many people such as yourself that fit that description that I just said? And do you feel a connection to these people as you've grown up and as you spend time in Toronto and the 4 years that you spent here?
Absolutely. I mean, I would think of, like, even as you were describing Coburg, the place that I had my teenage years and kind of grew up. I would think of, like, even the way you're describing that, I would think the same of Toronto.
Really?
Frankly, like, Toronto is a big city. It's cosmopolitan. It's like, you know, everyone goes there. There's a lot of money there. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of wealth. There's a lot of, you know, it's always happening, always busy.
Yeah.
But it is, like, in Canada, and I guess there are obviously differences from a small town on the lake outside of Toronto. It's just not the same, but it is, I guess, almost the mindset of people who, and not to shit on Toronto, but like there's almost kind of like this idea that this is it, you know?
Okay.
Like the same with Toronto as my hometown. It's like, I'm happy here, I'm content, like I've found my comfort, I've found my way of life, and I'm going to live contently doing life here, and it's just going to be carrying on that way over and over again.
And go. What? How do you feel?
I feel really good. I had a bit of a wild ride this morning. Feeling like a little bit burnt out. Got a lot of sun. Had a lot of social FaceTime, which is very, very draining. But I'm very happy today. It's the weekend. How would I not be?
Exactly.
It's a beautiful day.
How do you feel talking to me right now? You said you've been quite burnt out. You had a lot of social interaction.
Yeah. I feel fine. Yeah, no, I could go. For some reason, like, I just have a switch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of, I mean, I love my private time. I love being alone. But somehow, like, people always wonder like, what's up with me whenever they meet me. They're like, you had too much coffee? Are you high? I'm like, no, it's just like, you know. I think actually a friend of mine, me and him, we used to live together, but he was asking me about something along this lines, which was like, why do you present the way that you present to other people? And I think that there's something about leaving an impression with someone, and it could be, you know, a small interaction, it could be something more meaningful, but just to actually connect with someone on a human level and like be real. You could be a goof, you could be shady and mysterious, just for fun. But that's, I mean, it will leave something with that person, and not to say that like, he asked me about this, and I said, you know, it's almost like I don't want to be forgotten. Like I want to stick with people. I want them to remember me.
Why do you think you want people to remember you? Because these are not necessarily people that are close to your life. These are people
they're total random
general interaction.
Exactly.
So I'm curious. Because I do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think something I have. Okay. I can frame this in my own perspective, which is I have been in situations where I have felt, like I said earlier, like an outsider, an in-betweener, like I didn't really fit in.
Yeah.
And I don't want other people to feel that way, like even if they are not a part of the group. Like if I'm having dinner with my friends and girls are gossiping over here, I'm gonna like pop in with like, oh, by the way, you know?
Yeah.
But like it could be like totally off the wall, but it could be just a fun, cheeky little moment that brightens it for them. And I don't think that, like, if I were to regret being outside of myself to other people, to strangers, you know, meeting people, just having one-off interactions, just having like small moments. Like that is just something I would never regret, no matter, like, even if the outcome is totally weird and I feel like an idiot afterwards. So what? I'll feel like an idiot. And I'll be like, oh, well, that was funny. I'll make it my own, like, you know, I was just giving it a go, and they might have like totally ignored me if I was a freak. But it's more for me, but also for me to make other people feel something. To bring it back to my friend who was questioning me about this, like, he questioned me about it because that is the complete opposite of him, and he's like one of my best friends. Obviously we're very different people, but we have a lot in common, and when he brought this up with me, it was actually a conflict for us, because he didn't like that I was doing that, and like he thought that, oh, we were doing our thing. Why did you decide to bring this person into it? That like, you know, it made me uncomfortable, and I was like, that was when I formed this kind of idea, like that I just, it happened, and I don't really regret it because I thought it was fun for us. And I apologize that you didn't feel the same way.
I think what you're saying comes down to, and I'm a fucking idiot, so I'm just saying what I think, and I could be completely wrong. But it sounds like, and something that I've been thinking about for myself, like, respecting your own time, space, and energy. So making people happy and like improving people's situations and like those random interactions and helping people's day go by and being all this high energy is something that I love to do. But I realized recently that sometimes it's something that I do regardless of what I need personally and how I feel in myself. Maybe I see someone could do with a certain interaction or something, but myself really needs to be alone and time to, do you know what I mean? And my empathy, at the same time, my wanting to make that person happy, maybe selfishly to make myself feel good as well, will override my own personal needs, and I'll do that. But then I'll do that in succession so many times until I get to a really low point, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll burn myself out. Yeah, literally, and maybe not even know why I'm drained by it. But then still see these situations where I could be useful and put myself in these situations. And I wonder whether when I do that, I think, wow, is this just because I want to be liked and loved by all these random people? Like, am I so obsessed with the opinions of these people that I'm doing things to make them happy or to make them see me in a certain way?
Because you'll never see them again.
Exactly. Regardless of what it's doing to my own energy. And what, like you were saying, when you're with a friend, even, because when you're with your friend, your space, what you're doing together, it's shared. Your time, your space, your energy is shared. If you're deciding to do something together.
And that was a perspective that my friend gave me that I didn't really understand, or it wasn't. It's not something that I had thought about.
Yeah.
You know? I understand respecting the people you're with and the time that you have together.
Yeah.
But I also think that everyone should feel that joy.
Yeah. But not realizing that, obviously, for some people that aren't highly empathetic and feel the needs of a stranger, they'll see your needs and energy as much more significant than another stranger. Whereas you might not. Whereas you'll see, like, you're with your friend who might need a certain thing, but you'll see a stranger that might need something as well. So you try and include that, not realizing that it would take away from how your friend feels, which is something that I've done in the past as well, and something that I didn't even realize. It's something that I wouldn't really be able to articulate either until you've just said that to me right now. That's so fucking true.
And I know I disavowed it earlier, but now that I really think about it, like, just in this example that I've given you, it's like, it probably comes to our upbringings. Like, me and him have a very different upbringing. I'm the youngest child in a family of 4. I'm the problem child and the baby and, the wild card out here. And he's like a single child, has never been the problem. So he probably, like, I can, not to make assumptions about his, like, where he's coming from. He's already kind of shared with me his feelings on that. Yeah. But I think that, like, I can kind of put into my own experience some of, like, my struggles growing up. And trying to fit in. And trying to make friends and, like, dealing with bullying and being a little bit different but wanting to be the same or wanting people to like me even if I was acting like a goddamn idiot. That's, I mean, that is a very kind of specific case to this idea of wanting to connect with people on a maybe superficial level. Maybe, just leaving a little shred of joy with some stranger on the street. But I can definitely see that as, like, a reason that I do what I do, because, like, I've been that outsider that didn't get talked to at a party, and I know how it feels to be different. So it's as same as I might seem. I know I'm pretty normal, just a basic guy.
Totally normal dude.
But it's just, those kind of experiences stick with you, and you are more sensitive to it. So you just, it could be that you don't have the energy for that. It could be that you know that you don't need to do that. But you want to.
And understanding that you're appreciated and complete either way. like, because it's something that I still enjoy doing, interacting with strangers and doing stuff. I just sometimes
Well,
I need
here we
to,
are.
yeah. Sometimes I need to check myself and figure out why I'm wanting to do it.
Right.
Because sometimes, because it's hilarious and it'd be funny. Maybe I can brighten
Just for the lols.
Yeah, and maybe I can brighten up both of our days and it'll just be a funny
Right.
interaction
Yeah.
that I'll look back on and laugh at.
Yeah.
Maybe you genuinely see someone in need of help and you know it's the right thing to do, so
Yeah.
you would do it anyway. Or maybe you won't do it because even though you know it's the right thing to do, or even though you know it will brighten up someone else's day, you know that you need something else and that you should prioritize yourself. I think prioritizing myself when necessary, I feel like that's the main thing that I'm learning this year. Like, that as fun as, and because when you are fun and entertaining in that way, sometimes people don't really see you as an individual, but just someone that can provide that entertainment. So then they won't really consider what you might need or your emotions.
Your depth.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that can sometimes be a kick in the teeth when you think that what you're a part of is something genuine, but then as soon as you don't provide that thing that kind of got you there in the first place, things kind of shift really quickly. But what you were saying about superficial interactions and these things, that's really why I wanted to start this. Because like I was saying to you at the start, I'm very obsessed with, I'm a big people watcher, I'm very interested in people. And sometimes, like, I don't know if you do this, you're sitting on the train or something, you see someone and you kind of like guess their life just based on what they look like and how they think.
Whole backstory.
Yeah, and I'll do that to the point where all I want to do is just go up to that person and ask them if I'm right.
Right.
So that's essentially what I'm doing with this. Like, I'm just
curious. How often, though, when you are creating a backstory for someone, and I don't personally do that much, but maybe what I find myself doing more than, imagining or creating some sort of foundation of how this person arrived in front of me.
Yeah.
It's just judgment, and I hate that sometimes because it's not always positive. Like generally it's like, making assumptions about why someone is the way they are. And the things that you are cued to are generally the things that stand out, and those are generally things that you perceive as negative. So it could be the way that they're dressed, it could be the way that they're acting or talking, it could be, how they eat their food, or it could be something as stupid as the way that they stare and yawn. Right? And that's just forming judgments about people that you have no idea about. Yeah.
So I think it's a judgment if you see it as true and then move on. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you make this if you come up with this idea for this person and then you go, yeah, that's right.
So for you, it's more of curiosity, and you want to lead to
exactly.
Learning. Okay.
And what you're saying about the assumption is the reason why I obsessed over it so much. Because I would say, maybe it's this and that, and then I'd be like, but I could be so wrong, because perceptions is a big thing for me, because I get perceived in a certain way all the time, depending on what spaces I'm in. And it's been like that from the start. Like, I can't tell you how many times an old white lady has crossed the road when I've been walking behind them. Not necessarily just an old white lady, it's been all sorts of people, even black people. It doesn't even matter who the fuck. Yeah. And it's all down to like the way I dress and the way I move when I'm in my own personal space in public. Yeah. I get it. I completely get it. Because these assumptions and these preconceptions keep us safe in a world where we don't know everyone's intentions. We have to go by appearance and we have to go by things. However, because it's happened to me so many times, I know how
it feels.
Yeah, but mainly I know how incorrect perceptions can be a lot of the time.
Right.
I understand how necessary they are, because I use perceptions to keep myself safe as well. Whether they're true or not, they safeguard us from terrible situations. So when you weigh up the two, it's worth it to a certain extent. So yeah, I love to people watch and come up with these ideas with someone with the understanding that I must be so wrong, but that wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough for me to just know that I'm probably wrong. I wanted to know. Right. So for the last 7 years, I would come up with a detail about someone's life based on the best educational guess, whatever it is, whatever I can see. and then I'll just go up to them and ask them if I'm right. So maybe I'd say like, I'd maybe try to figure out what job they do, and I'd say, hey, do you work in finance? And they'd say yes or no, or whatever. I call it the day.
If someone asked me if I worked in finance, I would take it as a big insult.
By the way, I don't know what you do for a living, so I could do this with you right now.
Hit me.
Okay, let's do the end of our conversation.
Let's end this conversation.
Yeah, and then I'll do that.
Right.
When's the last time you sang to someone?
I sing all the time.
So relatively recently.
Recently, yeah. I have a go-to karaoke song,
Okay.
which I could ream it off here, but I'm not going to. You know the jam, Four Non-Blondes, What's Up?
No, what song is that?
Okay. Are you gonna make me sing now?
A little bit.
And I said, hey, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, yeah, yeah.
I said, hey, what's going on? It's a real crowd pleaser.
Yes, I have heard that song before. That's a great song. I've been craving karaoke so much recently.
Right. Where's the karaoke places in London?
Well, I know one in West London near where I live, but there's actually one in Soho that is pretty cool. But you need five.
Is it one of these booth karaoke places though?
I have no idea.
I'm more of a room karaoke.
I'm more of a crowd.
Yeah.
You need the crowd. You need a crowd. If I found one, would you be up for doing it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do know that I did karaoke in London. You know that Under the Bridges festival at South Bank Centre?
Yeah.
They had this karaoke that was run by Queens.
Whoa.
And that was where the last time I did a karaoke, but I did one recently there. And the song I just sang you, that's my go-to.
Okay.
It's Karaoke Golds. I just dropped that. Everyone lost
Shut
it.
down. I came up with a whole karaoke list recently. Would you like to see it?
Yeah. Incredible.
I didn't put the names of the artists.
Yeah, this is difficult for me. I don't know all these songs.
Break my heart.
Okay.
Say
We're
you
doing
love
a
me.
slow. We're doing a movie.
Yeah, do you know what? I realised,
Alright.
when I go on a karaoke stage, I want to leave my heart there. You know? I want to leave it all out there. You know? I feel like, what other
Be
songs did
real.
I have? Like, I got... Because I think I'm crazy. That one.
CeeLo.
Yeah.
Forever Young. I saw. By who? Is that a remix?
I think I went for the Forever Young.
That's what I was thinking.
I wanna be... Maybe
Not
that's what I
where they
wanted.
sampled it, right?
What did they sample it in? Oh, I know what you're talking about, but fuck knows the name of it. No letting go, no holding back. Do you know that song?
I don't know.
I'm going to show you it after. I think you'll like it. Time after time. If you're
I probably
lost,
do
I
know
will
it.
fall
I just
and
do.
I will catch you. Time after time. Oh, what a song. What a beautiful song.
I could go down a YouTube hole of just like bad 80s bangers, and by bad I mean the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this happens very regularly, quite.
I would very much so like to go to karaoke with you, sir.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I've been thinking about karaoke all the time.
Let's do it. Let's actually do
Yeah.
it. I'll message you like in the next few
Make
weeks.
it a thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, definitely.
okay.
But let's make a group. You get a couple friends, I get a
Oh
couple
my
friends,
God.
and we'll just make a whole thing of it.
I've done this before.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll record it. We
Not
hilarious.
not karaoke specifically, but I've done like get a bunch of random people together and make an edit of it.
Yeah, dude, let's actually
It
do
is a
that.
lot of
That'd be
fun.
really fun.
Yeah.
Okay, it's decided, and you're gonna see a hilarious edit of it, however long down the line when we eventually do it. Okay?
That's the bonus content.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I've really realised in the last couple years is that regardless of age, we're all just at like so different phases in our lives. But I feel like you pass a certain threshold where you understand that, and because when I was younger, my understanding was the older you get, the wiser you get, and that's just how it goes. And there's no up and down and
Oh,
fluctuation, and yeah. But then, yeah, I feel like, and for most people, that there's eventually this shift where they realize no, like everyone's in their own separate journeys, and depending on their upbringings and the way their mentality relates to their upbringings and all of this stuff shapes who they are and where they're at in different phases. And some people might be further along the line in certain places like emotional maturity or financial stability or whatever it might be. Their ability to interact with people, feel comfortable in whatever situations. Like, we're all in so many different spaces, but we could all learn so much from all the people around us, whether they're older or younger than us. That's another reason that I really wanted to do this and sell it as something where I'm getting people from different walks of life. Simply so that I can meet people from different walks of life with the understanding that I can learn something new, unique from you. I can learn something just as valuable from you than I can from Kevin and Lindsay, who are that's the homeless couple that I was telling you about, who I interviewed a couple episodes ago. And I'm really seeing the value in that. I'm only a few episodes in, I'm really realizing that all these perspectives, if we actually open ourselves up to listening to what people have to say, you can take genuine, useful information from it that you can apply to your own life. And it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's kind of exciting me that I'm seeing so much value in it so early on.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get hundreds of these in. So,
keep it going.
do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's really good. I'm really happy, and I'm really grateful that you even taken the time to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. This has been fun. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Although I was skeptical at first.
Yeah.
What's this all about?
yeah.
Seems a little sus being interviewed. Like, what is this, an interrogation?
Of course, no, exactly. Yeah.
But no, I think that the way, like the way that you yourself are just curious, and like you said, it could be you look at someone and you create a story and you want to know more about that person. I think that this is a really great way to actually learn how you can live your own life, and not to say that you're going to model anything off of what other people do.
Yeah.
But, you could take lessons from other people's experiences, however that relates to your own experience.
Yeah.
And take it.
Yeah.
And go.
Most definitely. Most definitely.